football.
Do you want to coach?
Me? Yeah, I've definitely thought about it.
You explain that so well.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
totally do that.
Do you have opportunities with your
seamless.
connections?
Yeah, I've had a couple opportunities, and I am very grateful for those opportunities. But coaches, a lot of people don't know, are putting in. They get in at 5 a.m.
Yeah, the hours
and
are
they
crazy.
leave at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so
You got
like,
kids.
yeah, I
It's
got
tough.
kids, and I was telling Adam, like, I've been, the last 4 years I've lived in a different state than my family. They've been here,
tough.
they've been in school, and so I'm trying to kind of, for lack of a better word, like make up for borrowed time a little bit. Like find something.
Trying to reassimilate back in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like, my wife's been great. She's a rock star. She did a great job, and she would support me if I wanted to do it. But I want to be with the kids. I want to be with the family, and like pursue opportunities like this one with the XFL. That's going to let me, be around the game, learn some football, and but still get to be with my family. Kind of best of both worlds.
Yeah,
Joined
it's
by
awesome.
Logan Paulsen, played with the Redskins from 2010 through 2015. Now he's going to be calling the games with Grant Paulsen. Tell us what you know about this DC Defenders team, because I guess you've had to do some homework. We know Cardale Jones.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a really exciting opportunity. I think so. Like, there's a whole bunch of guys. You're not going to know any of them. I mean, Donnell Humphrey is the all-time leading rusher in college football. And had a great career at San Diego. And then there's Tyree Jackson, who's the backup quarterback, who was like I think the MAC Player of the Year in 2018. And then like there's a whole bunch of guys who have been on practice squads, played a year or two here or there, guys who were drafted, late in the draft, and are looking for an opportunity, I think, more than anything, just to play ball. Like, these guys aren't making a ton of money. Like, I talked to Rashard Ross, who played here for a little bit, and I played with him, and he was like, we're not making any money. Like, we're here because we want the opportunity. We love football. And like, you look at a guy like AJ Tarley, I think is his name. He was from Stanford. He was out of football for 2 years with like a medical issue, and he was like selling stuff on Wall Street, and now he's back trying to play ball. Like, you know what I mean? Living in hotels.
Love of the
He's
game.
definitely taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
If he's working on Wall
100%.
Street to
And
come
so
play
I
for the
think
Defenders.
I think that's what's cool about it. It's like it's just this great opportunity for
I like
all
that
these guys.
too.
And like, from a guy like you mentioned before, who like I was on the verge of getting cut every single day. Like, I've seen what the NFL does to people, and I see how hard it is, and I see how like the lack of opportunity at the NFL. Like, a guy who has like a promising preseason, like, just gets cut because of roster numbers and doesn't get picked up someplace else. Like, this is an opportunity for a guy like that,
Right.
to get some tape and then maybe get into a camp, and then you never know, right? So
the rosters are the roster sizes are the same as the NFL.
they're
correct?
comparable. I think it's 52 instead of 53.
Great,
So
okay.
like they still have practice squads and stuff, but yeah, a little bit smaller.
Have you been to any of the practices or anything?
Went to a practice last week.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
How similar was it to a pro practice that you
Probably depends on which head coach.
Yeah, I think very similar structurally. Like, they kind of do their, their warm up. They do the individual stuff. They do like half line, 9-on-7, something like that, one-on-ones with the wide receivers, and they go into team periods. It is a little different because in the XFL, they have a 25-second play clock, and every skill player has a mic in their helmet. So the coach can talk to all the skill players at once. So instead of,
which is a great innovation.
I think that's a really cool thing. I think, it makes sense.
Great for us as viewers.
Yeah.
Right? I would assume. Do we get to hear any of it? Maybe not.
No, you wouldn't hear it, but there's no reason for, the receivers running into the huddle, which slows things down.
Yeah, so like they were able to go real fast, and then like you can see the coach making corrections like from the back through the mic, which is awesome. Like, let's say the receiver didn't get to the correct spot in the motion, you can be like, hey, get a little tighter, or hey, Cordell, let's check this play. And so like I would say it's really analogous to what Sean McVay was doing with the LA Rams.
He was talking him through.
Yeah, just talking him through the whole thing. And so I think you'll see a lot of kind of muddle huddle, no huddle stuff, guys kind of in a formation, get a man zone indicator, motion guys around, see what the defense is doing, and then get yourself in the right play, and then get the quarterback in the best position to execute it.
Who was the best quarterback that you played with at recognizing the defense and changing plays?
I'd say Matt Ryan.
Matt
Ryan. I mean,
Won MVP.
he's like a consummate pro, and I think like one thing people don't understand about quarterback is how they have to prepare.
Oh,
to
it's
be
ridiculous.
Really good. Yeah. So like Tuesday's the off day in the NFL, but like Matt would be in there at 6 o'clock and he'd leave at 4 because he's trying to like get up on the opponent, but also influence.
And he wasn't lifting weights like you.
No.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, so he's not a big guy. He's just studying.
Yeah.
It's a thinking man's game.
That's why I say, like with Haskins, God bless him, and I'm rooting for him. But it's a big deal, like another offense he's got to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Terminology and everything. It's he's got to put the work in.
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of these guys coming from like a spread offense in college have a really hard time learning like NFL terminology.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
a
didn't
big
have to,
deal.
They didn't have to call a play. You know, it's all signaled. It's like one or two
Clapping.
words, right? And people undervalue how challenging that can be.
I say that all the time.
And so like, you know, everyone's kind of on his case, I'm sure, you know, but it's tough, man. I do not envy the kid, what he's got to learn, what he's got to do this offseason.
Right. I'm with you. It doesn't mean he can't be successful at it,
No,
but
yeah.
he's just got to put the work in. That's a lot.
Exactly.
It's just a lot to absorb.
I want to go over some of the rules, though.
Yeah, let's do
because
it.
to me, there's a huge difference. I mean, I know you say they're subtle, but you're a player. But for me, to get used to some of the rules, especially with the kicking game,
Yeah.
no running starts, and so they're trying to promote big returns. It seems like.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to promote big returns and promote player safety.
Yeah.
So what they do is they line up, the kicking team lines up on the 35-yard line of like in the direction that they're kicking, which is going to look a little weird, and then the receiving team lines up on the 30-yard line. So they're 5 yards apart in the kicking half of the field.
I mean, that is so weird.
It is weird. And then it's a penalty if you kick it in the end zone or you kick it out of bounds. It has to land in play at the 20 in that 20-yard space right there. And
So little pooch kicks.
yeah, well, I think they're kicking from the 25, so like where the old kickoff line used to be in the NFL. So
Right.
it's all designed to promote returns, make the kickoff a relevant play again.
Good.
And they can't start blocking till the returner catches the ball.
Right.
So I would imagine that it's going to lead to some more returns. In a way, like it makes it easier on the kickoff return team because this is the guy I'm blocking. This is what we're going to do. It'll just be interesting to see if they can kind of make that a little bit spicier than just like, basically like a kickoff coverage drill.
Right.
The thing I'm excited for personally, though, in the kicking game is the punts because they have basically said the gunners can't leave when the ball is snapped. They have to wait till the ball is kicked. And if you look at, I was talking to you outside, like if you look at the NFL, like 95, 97% of the tackles are made by gunners on punts. So
Right.
if they're not covering downfield, there's going to be so much space. And if these guys have any juice, and I'm sure there are guys who've got some juice who can run, like it's going to be
So
interesting.
the returners are going to be the stars.
I would think so. On a punt, I would think like if there's nobody down there, like what are you going to do? Like
Yeah.
you could probably return the punt. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't think so.
Well, I remember that was GP's thing. Remember years ago? Didn't
Yeah.
Grant claim he could return a punt 10 yards or
I think
something?
I think he claimed that.
Grant
I don't know if
Paulsen
that
said
would
that.
happen.
I remember, and Robert mocked him at a presser.
Right.
I remember that. But that was a while ago. I can't remember what the premise of it. Grant can remind us.
Well, I know this. He can't make it to a 9 a.m. segment.
Very true.
Logan, man, you're great.
Well, I can say I want to talk more.
We've got a guest coming up next.
We do? Who's the
Yeah,
guest?
Quentin Mayo.
Oh,
We're going to talk
okay.
about the Wizards and the trade deadline.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be fun.
All right. Well, Grant just missed it then. He just
did.
botched it. Completely
he does
botched
have
it.
a 4-hour show.
Right.
Starts at 10.
All right. Well, that was
Good
very
stuff,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Have fun
Thank you.
Saturday.
Great talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
man,
for having
stop
me.
love
by
it.
anytime.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing you and Grant on the call.
Yeah.